intervention.
Officials identified the shooter as Logistics Sergeant Cornelius Radford. President Trump supports the redrawing of congressional maps in Texas, but not all Republicans are on board. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
The president says Democrats do redistricting, so the Republicans should too.
Yeah, they'll do it anyway. Why, if we stop over there, they would have done it anyway.
But several House Republicans are voicing their opposition. Axios reports that GOP lawmakers Kevin Kiley of California and Mike Lawler of New York want to ban mid-decade redistricting in all states. Representative Nicole Malliotakis of New York said it's wrong for either party to do it. Greg Clugston, Washington.
On Wall Street, the Dow up by 81 points, the Nasdaq rose 252, the S&P advanced 45. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is an urgent message for investors over the age of 50. Silver is on the verge of making history. This is an opportunity you can't miss. We're Advantage Gold, the #1 rated precious metals company in America, and we've helped thousands of investors move their IRA, 401k, or retirement account into physical gold and silver, safely and securely. Call 800-900-8000 now and get our free 2025 Silver Investor Report and learn why now could be the best time to own physical silver. In this eye-opening guide, we reveal why silver is surging and could make new all-time highs, how to protect your retirement from inflation and market chaos, and the little-known IRS loophole that lets you own gold, silver, and even platinum, 100% tax and penalty-free. Plus, you'll learn how to get up to $10,000 in free silver with a qualifying purchase. But don't wait for this opportunity to pass you by. Call us now and learn how to own physical silver today the smart way. Call 800-900-8000 now. That's 800-900-8000. Or visit us at AdvantageGold.com. Past performance may vary. Consult your financial or tax advisor. Call us at 800-900-8000.
Here's the Wall Street Business Report.
Stocks closed higher, led by a rally for Apple. The S&P 500 climbed 0.7%. The Dow added 0.2%, and the Nasdaq Composite rose 1.2%. Apple alone accounted for more than a third of the S&P 500's gain ahead of the announcement at the White House, where it's expected to increase its U.S. investments by an additional $100 billion over the next 4 years. Trading elsewhere on Wall Street was mixed following a jumble of profit reports. McDonald's and Shopify rose following their latest updates. The Disney company fell after its earnings beat forecasts, but its revenue fell short. The Dow up 81 points to close at 44,193. The Nasdaq gained 252 to 21,169. The S&P 500 added 45 to 6345. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
News and analysis at townhall.com.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. We're mostly cloudy overnight, a few lingering showers, a low of 69. Tomorrow, cloudy all day again, 40% chance of more scattered storms. Our high is 81. We look to the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. The sun tries to peek out, but it'll stay mostly cloudy. We have high temperatures around 84 both days to go with a 40% chance of rain. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
This is Sports Talk with Phil Kornblut and Chris Bergen. Sports Talk is heard across the state on radio affiliates of the Sports Talk Media Network and is streaming live on SportsTalkSC.com, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. The South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number to call in is 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now, here are Phil and Chris with tonight's edition of Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. It's Sports Talk Media Network on this Wednesday evening in the Palmetto State. Great to have you with us. We begin the Palmetto Pigskin Tour for 2025 as we hit the road, traveling the state of South Carolina, visiting with all those other teams not known as Clemson and South Carolina. As I like to say, these coaches, these players, they work just as hard, they coach just as hard, they practice just as hard, and we always love getting together with them to talk about their teams and the upcoming season. We always begin at South Carolina State. Chennis Berry came in and boy, he set the bar very high for the Bulldogs in his first year after a great run at Benedict College. His first head coaching job, he really turned that program around. Now he's come to South Carolina State, and he's won an MEAC championship and an appearance in the Celebration Bowl in his first season. So the bar is set, and the minimum that they expect here at South Carolina State is a MEAC championship and an appearance in the Celebration Bowl. So we'll be talking with him a little bit after 7 o'clock, a couple of players as well. Welcome in Chris Bergen from the Berge Palace over in Sardis. Josh Cohen back at our studios in downtown Columbia. So we're moving ever so closer to the start of the football season. You can always tell when we hit the road for the Pigskin Tour, Berge, it's getting closer and closer. And we're going to hear from some Gamecocks and Tigers tonight as well. Also, it's an SC Wild night tonight at 7:35 with Major Billy Downer. So we are loaded up with stuff on this Wednesday night.
And first off, do you know, I know you don't keep track of a lot of things, but do you know what year this is for the Palmetto Pigskin Tour here on Sports Talk?
My goodness. Off the top of my head, I do not. It would certainly date back while we're here at South Carolina State. It would certainly date back to the beginning of the Buddy Pugh era as head football coach. I don't know if we did one with Coach Jeffries or not, or any of the others prior to Coach Pugh. Maybe we did. It probably dates back into the 90s, maybe. Sometime back in the 90s.
At least.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because I remember when I was working at WPCC up in Clinton and we carried Sports Talk, I remember you coming over for years over to PC, and I'd come over and say hello. So I know it at least goes back into the 2000s. Now, how much further back than that? To me, it's an impressive and fun thing that we get to do. I know you enjoy it a ton, but I think it's great, too, to give all the other schools an opportunity to showcase their wares. And where better place to start than the school that's got the most NFL football Hall of Famers, 4 of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do enjoy this. This is one of the favorite things that we do, a chance to see coaches and players up close. I think that they really appreciate the exposure. They don't get a whole heck of a lot of exposure outside their own backyard. So for this one night, we have a chance to feature that team and that program and say a lot of good things about them. And here in this case at South Carolina State, with what has been going on here over all the decades and, of course, what happened last year, it's really nothing but good stuff to say about the Bulldogs and their football program as we look over Willie Jeffries Field inside Dawson Bulldog Stadium right here in Orangeburg. Meantime, looking ahead at some other things to talk about tonight, we're going to hear from Clemson linebacker Sammy Brown. Didn't get to that last night. We'll get to that in a little bit. And also, we're going to stay on the theme of linebackers and talk to one of the new members of the linebacking corps at South Carolina, Sean Murphy, a 2-time transfer, started out at Alabama, went to Florida State, spent a couple of years there, and now he's come to South Carolina where he seems to be very happy and is looking forward to helping out in that linebacker room at South Carolina, which is basically being rebuilt this offseason and into this preseason with not a lot of returning experience. Fred Johnson would be maybe an exception, though he didn't play a heck of a lot. Special teams he played, and he got some spot duty here and there on the defense. But really, it's a linebacking room that's going to be pretty much brand new. But they like the guys that they have brought in, and this is one of them.
I think there's a bigger concern, or questions, maybe not concern is the appropriate word to use right now, but bigger questions in the linebacking core at USC or up front, especially on the defensive tackles.
I would say biggest questions would be focused on the defensive middle. Yeah, right there,
Yep.
defensive line, replacing those interior defensive linemen that they had last season is a big task. But, we did see they had a session today, a media session today with some defensive players, and Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy was one of the guys that they brought in. And just looking at him, physically, he looks the part. Coming out of high school a couple of years ago when he signed with Texas A&M, he was one of the most sought-after defensive linemen in the country. Could have gone anywhere. And for whatever reason, didn't work out for him at Texas A&M. he kind of hinted at he was thrown into the fire very quickly there at A&M when he got there, and maybe just wasn't ready for it. Just wasn't physically, mentally ready for what was asked of him. So now he gets a redo at South Carolina. If it works out that he lives up to those expectations that were made for him coming out of high school, then they're going to have a very good defensive tackle there. Same thing with Markel Goodwine. When he was recruited by Alabama out of high school, he was a very highly recruited guy, but didn't play a whole lot at Alabama. Going to get his shot. Played some last year at South Carolina. Is going to get an even bigger shot now. There's Nate Barrett, who's returning as a member of the as the veteran member of the group. Another guy with not a whole lot of experience as far as snaps. So those are just some of the guys that they're looking at in the middle. It's going to be a new group there, but I think that there's talent and there's size, there's strength, and I think Travian Robertson certainly is an excellent coach and can prepare these guys and get them ready to play at the SEC level. So to me, that would be their biggest question. What about you? How do you see it? What do you break it down? How do you break it down?
I still think probably up front, I would agree with you on the defensive tackles. And we heard from Sterling Lucas yesterday, and he talked about even trying to replace a guy like Kyle Kennard at defensive end. He said one thing we are going to continue to do is rush the passer, and our guys have to be able to sack the quarterback. And that was something they did extremely well last year. But they were awfully, awfully good against the run, too. We've talked about this before. But they were so good at stopping the run, and part of it was because they were anchored in the middle by guys like Taka Hemingway, and it made it really difficult to run inside, so you have to get outside, and who's there waiting on you on either side? You got Kyle Kennard on one side and Dylan Stewart on the other, and then the linebackers I thought ran extremely well. So to me, I think it's those two defensive tackles, whomever they turn out to be to start, and any subs. And then certainly I think the linebackers are going to be an interesting thing to watch, especially early in the season against Virginia Tech with a very mobile quarterback themselves.
Yeah, they're going to be challenged, I think, from the very beginning, that opening game against Virginia Tech. I think, as you mentioned, they do have a very mobile quarterback, athletic quarterback. Now, the thing about Fred Johnson, I mean, they think he's got a chance to be a very special linebacker for them after coming in as a freshman last year. And, I mean, he looks very, very good physically. He runs well. His speed is one of his biggest assets. And he's a very quiet guy. He doesn't say much. I guess he lets his work on the field do the talking for him. So he's got some experience, but not a large amount. So I think they'll be kind of letting him lead the way, but then some of these newcomers that they have picked up out of the transfer portal, John, and also some of the high school guys that they're bringing in, they're going to have to learn quickly this defense from Clayton White and see if they can pick it up in a hurry. Of course, you only need with their defense, you only need two linebackers at a time for the most part, because mostly they're in nickel. So you just need two linebackers. I say just. I mean, they're very important, but you need a couple linebackers ready to go for you in that defense. I mean, it's not real often, except in certain running situations, that they're going to have three linebackers on the field. So, okay, we're going to hear again from those folks coming up. Got a busy show for you. We'll have the Coach Barry and players from South Carolina State here with us a little bit after 7 o'clock tonight. Anything else on your mind, Bergie, as we get rolling tonight?
There were two things, one of interest for Clemson fans. Evidently, there's a rumor online today that Garrett Nussmeier, the starting quarterback at LSU, got hurt during practice. According to, who did I see retweeted that out? Bruce Feldman, who covers college football for The Athletic, said he actually texted an LSU source about those rumors, and the response was, yeah, he's fine. These people are unreal.
Yeah.
So maybe something to keep an eye on, maybe not.
You mean these people as in the people who start the rumors?
Yes. That would be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not
so
the people at LSU.
Yeah.
So clearly that would be a massive story, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
I mean, it'd be a massive story if there is some truth to that rumor. But according to whomever Bruce Feldman's source is at LSU, Nussmeier is okay.
Okay. What else?
And the other thing. The other thing that I found fascinating today, and again, it's proof positive that the people who guard college basketball have no idea what the heck they're doing. Matt Norlander reporting this afternoon that one hypothetical is that college basketball players are starting, or excuse me, the governance of college basketball is looking into is an NCAA source told him that they're looking at possibly expanding the regular season to 38 or 40 games. Now, keep in mind, right now, most college basketball teams play anywhere between 31 and about 33 regular season games. And this could materialize in a few years because there's bubbling support from some high majors, of course, to up October through March inventory. And you know why? So they can pay more to the players. Well, here's the issue that I have. You want to add a few more games. I mean, do you want to go to 82 like the NBA plays during the regular season? I mean, good grief. I thought 32 or 33 was enough. But if they want to go to 35 or 38 or 40, fine. But what you're going to do, you obviously have to, because you're not going to move the NCAA tournament. The way that's locked in to finish up the week before the Masters, there's no way CBS and its partners are ever going to move the NCAA tournament unless the Masters moves until late April, and we know that's not going to happen. So the flip side is you have to start the season earlier. Well, what does that do, Phil? We already talked about how the crossover season, college basketball gets no interest and nobody paying attention to until late January on into February. Can you imagine that half your season is played during football season?
I think that would be just ludicrous.
I would agree.
I would think that'd be just ludicrous. I mean, there's certain hot spots where it doesn't matter. You know, those places that don't have big-time football, that have big-time basketball. I mean, your big East schools, for example, they'd probably love it. Your Georgetowns, your St. John's, Villanova, and all those people, they'd probably love it. But not the rest of the country, I wouldn't think.
But this is evidently coming from the Atlantic Coast Conference, the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the SEC. So these are all Power 4 leagues who have massive football programs in them that their fan bases across the board are going to be much more interested in what's going on in October and November in college football than they ever would be early in the season for men's and or women's basketball. And I don't understand why you need to, I get it, because the answer to every question right now in college athletics is, well, to generate more revenue, more money. So fine, but I think this would be, as you pointed out, a ludicrous, massive mistake because you're going to continue to just downgrade and water down the regular season. If you get it where half of it, literally half of it, they would have to play about 20 games before New Year's for this to work, roughly. 15 to 20 more games that would have to be played before New Year's to get this to work, and that's smack dab in the middle of the hotbed of the college football regular season.
Yeah, but you know what we forget? You and I and people like us, you know what we forget when we have this kind of discussion? I mean, we point out all the reasons why you shouldn't do something like this, right? And you made some great points. Make all the reasons why. But the decision makers, they don't hear any of that. All they hear is how much will television pay and, what time of the night do you want us to play, or would you like us to tip off at 7 in the morning? You just tell us and we'll be there. And if you want us to start playing games in September, and we'll start playing games in September. If television offers up the money and is going to put it on television, these fools go for it all the time. And they don't bat an eye because they don't really have a conscience when it comes to thinking about what's actually, good for the sports and what's good for the ticket buying fan. It's all about what ESPN, and it will be ESPN. I mean, ESPN is working its way towards a complete monopoly of the sports world. I say complete monopoly. Fox is going to be around, for a long time. I don't guess they're going anywhere, but that's going to probably keep ESPN from having a monopoly on the sports world, especially. I mean, I worry to death about one major giant operation having its content control over so many things, and now Major League Baseball is back talking to ESPN. Looked like that was going to go away. There's going to be a separation there, but no, they haven't parted ways. Now the NFL's got an equity share in ESPN, and they're turning over a whole bunch of their programming, like the NFL Network, to ESPN. And I don't know. I want to see how they butcher that up. Maybe they'll make it great. Maybe they'll make it better than it was. But based on some of their hirings and some of the people they've hired versus some of the people they have fired, I don't have a lot of faith in what they plan to do with these programs.
And look, you know me. I love college basketball. It tips off in October. That'd be great. But it puts me and people like me who do jobs that I do, where you are the radio voice of a football program and also happen to be the radio voice of the basketball program. It puts me in an interesting bind here if I've got to try and juggle Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday. And then, oh, by the way, the men's basketball team has to play a game on Sunday, too, because we've got to get 4 or 5 games in a week.
And who are those opponents going to be? Like, who are you going to be playing?
I don't know. You'd almost have to. We've joked about the Atlantic Coast Conference starting conference play before Christmas. You're going to have to start. Well, maybe you don't. I don't know how this will work, but I mean, you would almost have to start conference play. Gosh, everybody would have to start in December at that point in time, unless you're going to backload your games and everything. Oh, you're going to play 20. Well, let's see. If you're playing 20 conference games or 18 conference games, that's going to leave anywhere between 20 and 23 or 24 non-conference games. It's going to be a lot of non-conference games across the board, and a lot of them are going to have to be, by accident, they'd have to be high-profile games.
I mean, outside of Jeff Goodman, does anybody in America love basketball that much? College basketball that
John
much?
Rothstein, maybe.
Yeah, Jeff Goodman, they can sit down in front of their big screen televisions and they can watch all 40-something games that a college basketball team's going to play. But, I mean, come on, I challenge most people to love college basketball that much to want to watch that many games against that many bad teams, and that's what you're going to end up with. Okay, we hit the break on Sports Talk. When we come back, we're going to hear from Clemson's outstanding linebacker, Sammy Brown, who spoke with the media the other day about getting ready for his second season with the Tigers. A little bit later on, South Carolina State's folks will be here live with us. Looking forward to having Coach Barry. Couple of players, got an All-American defensive back who's going to be joining us amongst the players. So we'll be back from Orangeburg in a moment.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Hi, this is Major Billy Downer, and coming up tonight at 7:30, it's another edition of SC Wow from the Department of Natural Resources on the Sports Talk Media Network.
Traveling can be the worst, especially when you can't find your favorite show. Well, don't worry. We've got the perfect way to keep up with everything happening in the Palmetto State when you're away from home. Just pull up the Chief Sports app on your mobile device, and you can listen live to Sports Talk.
All right, welcome in, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network.
So the next time you can't find us on one of our great radio affiliates, just log on to the Chief Sports app, the best way to stay connected with the Sports Talk Media Network.
Major Billy Downer here from the Department of Natural Resources, and DNR is excited to announce the implementation of Go Outdoors SC, a new online licensing and boat titling system that you can access right from your phone. Through this new system, customers can purchase their hunting and fishing licenses, renew their boats, apply for lottery hunt opportunities, and complete electronic harvest reporting requirements. For more information, visit Go Outdoors SC at your local app store.
One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Packs of Brooks and Dunn. If you want a country girl, you just found one. Let's slip away. Yeah, in Chevrolet.
Heavy duty football talk tonight here on Sports Talk, along with heavy duty outdoor talk with Major Billy Downer, SC Wild, coming up at 7:35. Let's begin with Clemson linebacker Sammy Brown. Lots expected of him. Expected to be the best of their linebackers. That was expected when they signed him, and he showed up last season as a true freshman and played some great football. How much has he improved? What does he think about the coming season? What does he think about the current group of linebackers? He took questions from the Clemson media.
Sammy, what's the area of your game you feel like you've made the most growth in throughout the course of this offseason?
Really the two things that I worked on in this offseason were block destruction and, zone drop recognition. Those were kind of two things looking back last year where I just feel like I really needed to work on it. So I took some time, in the offseason, in the spring, then also over the summer, just kind of, self-scouting, looking at games from last year, looking at the spring and the practices then, just kind of evaluating, what I did good, what I did bad, and, figuring out what I need to get better at.
With the zone drop recognition specifically, what are some of the key differences you've seen with the change of coordinator and Tom Allen coming in and some of the principles he's been able to instill in you so far?
He really focuses in your drops about, keeping your eyes ready and making sure that you know what's around you and not, staring at the quarterback or staring straight at a receiver, just, being able to feel what's around you and, break on ball.
Wade was telling us how the linebackers decided to all wear weight vests. I know you guys had all the workouts. Like, what went into that? How much harder is it really to get through something like that?
At the end of the day, the sole reasoning for that was mentality. We're going to be tougher than everybody that we play, and we're going to try to, gain an edge in anything that we can do. So one of the things that we figured we could do is wear a weight vest or, come in early to workouts and do some prehab stuff, some, activation stuff. So any way that we can get an edge on even our teammates. We were always competing in there with the tight ends and the running backs and stuff, so we're just trying to figure out any way that we can make ourselves mentally tougher. But, at the end of the day, it was Ben's idea. Ben texted all of us and said in 2016 when he had 150-something tackles, he wore a weight vest every practice, every mat drill, so he's instilling it in us.
What else has been brought to that your room? I mean, he comes with credentials all around the building. What have you learned from him in the short time that he's been in charge of your position?
It's really easy to learn things from him because he's played the game. He played it at the highest level in the national championship, so he's got things in his game that he can relate to us with. And, like I said, he's played the game, so he knows what it's like to be in our shoes and what we're seeing and what we're feeling. So it's been good with that. But another thing is just intensity. He's a very intense person, if you could not tell. When he played, when he's a coach, it's exactly the same.
Is there a moment, intensity-wise, where you're just like, wow, this guy really is like kind of different?
I can't really think of one off the top of my head, but there's a couple times, I've got the green dot, so I'll be in the middle of a play and he's just screaming in my ear. He's not even meaning to. He's just screaming at somebody in my ear, and he happened to have his mic on him. Come on, man.
Jeremiah Alexander, we've heard a lot about his just work ethic, and Wade was saying like literally have to pull him out of the weight room to keep going. Like, what has he added to the rooms in terms of that?
He's really and genuinely took us to another level. He's the one that started coming in early with with Peter and TJ. He's the one that started the backers coming in, but he really and truly has brought the whole backer room up to another level. He's just elevated our game in the way that we watch film, work out, practice. He's just a great addition to our backer room.
Wade was telling us you guys got tighter this offseason. Can you talk about some of those adventures, if you will? I know fishing, golf.
Well, I don't know if y'all saw, but me, Wade, and Fletcher did film an All In Outdoors video, so promote that a little bit. But, a couple of us also did go rafting at one point this summer. That was definitely an adventure. None of us have ever rafted before, so that was really fun.
Yeah, nothing like rafting to bring people together, especially when you're drowning. You fall out of the raft. Help me. Wonder if they can all swim. I guess they can all swim. Didn't hear of any issues. All right, we'll be back.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. We're mostly cloudy overnight, a few lingering showers, a low of 69. Tomorrow, cloudy all day again, 40% chance of more scattered storms. Our high is 81. We look to the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. The sun tries to peek out, but it'll stay mostly cloudy. We have high temperatures around 84 both days to go with a 40% chance of rain. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
The Point is teaming up with our friends at Americans for Prosperity, South Carolina for one big, beautiful party. Join us at Flight Deck Restaurant in Lexington, Friday, August the 8th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. We'll do the afternoon drive live. And how about this? The food is on us. It's AFP and the Points way of saying, hey, thanks for always supporting important causes, calling your elected officials, caring about local issues. Friday, August the 8th, Flight Deck. Come by and celebrate one big, beautiful party. We'll see you there.
In Texas. With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. An Army sergeant has been accused of shooting 5 soldiers at Fort Stewart. Officials say Wednesday that other troops tackled 28-year-old Sergeant Cornelius Radford after he started firing. The shooting prompted a brief lockdown at one of the country's largest Army bases. Radford opened fire where he worked. Tens of thousands of college students without legal residency are losing access to in-state tuition as part of the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration. The Justice Department has been suing states to end these tuition breaks. The lawsuits started in Texas in June and have expanded to Kentucky, Minnesota, and Oklahoma. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 81 points. The Nasdaq rose 252. More details at srnnews.com.
Lots of plumbing companies out there. Few are truly local. Time to discover the difference with Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. See, when I faced plumbing woes at the Cohen home, Josh and his dedicated team, well, they were my go-to solution. They make a commitment to exceptional service. They arrived on time, clearly detailed all the costs and procedures, and efficiently handled all my repairs without any surprises. These days, how often do we complain about a lack of customer service out there? With Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, these folks are professional. They're courteous. They're skilled at what they do, and they've earned my trust, and they've earned my recommendation to you. From urgent repairs to the tankless water heater you've always wanted, they've got you covered. Visit franklinplumbing.sc.com or call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. Hey, you tell them Kev sent you from The Point. I'm pretty sure you'll want to thank me later.
Are you looking for free checking and free savings? Dave Ramsey here, telling you to go see my friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union. They're not a mega bank that's so big they lose the ability to treat you like a human being. At Palmetto Citizens, you're not just a number, you're a member. Join today at any of their 14 locations or at palmettocitizens.org. Federally insured by the NCUA.
What's better than getting the best Wagyu and Hereford beef anywhere in these parts and getting it delivered to your door? How about knowing you're still supporting local farmers in Saluda over at H&J Cattle, where tradition meets quality? Visit HandJCattle.com. Place your order for $50 or more, get free delivery in Richland or Lexington County. Plus, Point listeners get 10% off your order. Enter keyword The Point as one word for your discount. HandJCattle.com.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Sweet from Sweet Comfort Services HVAC. We're locally owned and operated, which really helps keep pricing reasonable. With lower overhead and more accountability, we stand by the systems we install, our repairs, and our parts. Most nationally owned companies know they have plenty of work this time of year when it's really hot. We'll treat you great no matter what time of year it is. Call Sweet Comfort Services HVAC at 803-331-8143. That's 803-331-8143.
Escape the hustle and bustle of everyday life with Spa MD, your sanctuary of rejuvenation. Feel the tension melt away as our expert team guides you through your customized wellness journey. From soothing massages to revitalizing treatments, we promise a remarkable experience that leaves you feeling renewed and empowered. Discover the calm within every visit. Reach out at 251-9400 or online at visitspamd.com to explore your options. Your oasis of tranquility awaits.
The recruiting wizard with the sharpest mind. Phil Kornblut's legend. One of a kind. The ball truth lives on. It's a radio spree. He knows the game before the coaches can see. Master of sports,
You know,
talk with a golden view.
that line in that story, in that song, that line, the bald truth, where did the writer come up with that?
Take off the cap. Take off
Have
the
they
cap.
has the writer ever seen me in person to come up with a line like that?
He's anonymous. Ghostwriter.
I disagree with the assumption that I'm bald. I mean, I might be challenged up there, but I'm not bald, Bergie, by any means. I mean, having hair in the back and on the side, that counts. That's
True,
not bald.
But cul-de-sac corn just didn't sound as well.
Cul-de-sac. Is that what you
That's
call
the
it?
bald truth.
You call it a cul-de-sac? Okay, I like that. That's a good term. Okay, we're back at South Carolina State. Overcast skies. I guess the football players, they love working out in these conditions compared to what the conditions were last week. 100 degrees and 110 feel-like conditions and 90% humidity. It's still humid, but at least the temperatures are in the 70s, maybe low 80s, threats of rain. I mean, it looks like it could bust loose here any second, just kind of hanging over us. But much better than it was last week. So, of course, I'm sure coaches would prefer the hot and humid, right? Would they like have them out there to get them in shape?
Absolutely, especially considering they're going to open up Labor Day weekend, and we all know it's going to be back in the 90s by then. Of course. I'm guessing Chinnis Berry and every other coach around the state, as they get ready for Wofford, for instance, for SC State. Yeah, we want it as hot as possible because that'll get our guys ready for the opening weekend.
Of course, it's going to be 72 degrees in Atlanta for South Carolina, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, exactly.
Indoors, so that's if you're Shane Beamer, of course, and South Carolina staff, you do realize you're going to have some comfortable conditions for your opening game, but you also realize that down the road it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter for the month of September, so you've got to prepare for the really hot conditions to follow. You just can't think about 72 degrees indoors in Atlanta, so I'm sure they're pushing their guys through as hard as they can.
Now, this is a great question, though, and it'll be something to follow as we get closer to that game. How much will the Gamecocks practice inside leading up to that game?
Yeah.
How much will they go inside the the operations building and they're indoor?
Yeah. When's the last time? Let me think here. When's the last time the Gamecocks played in a dome?
Surely more recent rather than the SEC championship game.
When was the last time the Gamecocks played in a dome? Was that it? Was it the
That may
Georgia
very
Dome
well be.
in 2010? Let me think. Bowl game wise, no. This might be their first indoor game since then.
It's very possible.
Yeah, might be their
without
first
having the
indoor
entire
game.
schedule. But yeah, that would be my guess.
Yeah,
the SEC championship game.
All right, let me hit a few things here. Clemson, a couple of writers tweeting some things. Darian Carter, Greenville News. Clemson safety Khalil Barnes was in yellow for today's practice. John Blau, Post and Courier. Tight end Olsen Pat Henry was in regular orange today. No restrictions, full go. He's been in yellow since the start of the camp after having his tonsils removed. So that's certainly good to hear. The Richland Post 215 American Legion team won its game against Puerto Rico at the American Legion Southeast Region today in Asheboro, North Carolina. Won handily 10-0. Have you seen the score on Florence yet? Are they playing this afternoon?
I thought they were supposed to. I'll have to double check. I hadn't seen one right off the top of my head. But how about Irmo Little League winning today?
Irmo Little League won their region tournament to advance to the Little League World Series. The fourth team from South Carolina to advance to the Little League World Series since 1947.
Good for them.
None of my Little League teams made it to the – any of your Little League teams make it? I
never played Little League baseball.
Latta Bank and Trust one year, and I don't think we made it out of the Latta playoffs. Remember when you played Little League baseball and you had a sponsor from a business in your hometown?
Oh, yeah, no
we
doubt.
had Latta
No
Bank
doubt.
and Trust,
Mhm.
A&P Grocery, you name it, Corn Blues Department Store, probably threw in some socks or something in there. So, that was fun. That was fun back in the day. Yeah, congratulations to those kids from Irmo. It was a walk-off.
awesome.
It was a rally. It was a four-run rally that they had to win that game and advance to the World Series. Quite the finish.
I feel we were wrong on the Gamecocks. It wasn't the SEC championship game. Same year, though. Remember, they went back to the Georgia Dome and played in the Chick-fil-A Bowl against Florida State.
You are correct.
But I think that may have been the last one.
That was their last domed game. So it'll be their first domed game in 15 years, right?
About that.
2010, 2025, 15 years. Speaking of the Gamecocks, they announced today that they raised $107 million last fiscal year, all-time high number for the Gamecock Club of raising money. $107 million for athletics. $107 million. That sounds like a lot of money.
And it's not enough.
But it does sound like a lot of money, doesn't it?
It does sound like a lot of money. That's
They
because
had
it
their
is a lot of
largest-
money.
They had their largest single-time gift in athletics department history. They don't say how much. You want to disclose how much you gave them?
No. Because I don't give the Gamecock Club any money.
Oh, you're not the guy who gave the
No,
the largest
I am not. I'm
single-
sorry.
Yeah.
I am not the. I missed the joke. Yes, no,
Yeah.
I am not the. I'm not the largest donor. I am not
Okay.
the Darla Moore of USC.
I doubt it was Darla Moore because she's been pissed
You
at
might
them for
guess, too.
a number of years. Oh, who was it, Plumber?
Well done, Josh.
Quick-witted. So they're happy about that. Seems like that's enough money to run your program, but apparently it's not. The SEC announced the men's basketball schedules today. So South Carolina will open up against Vanderbilt at home on January 3rd. Then they'll go to LSU, then back home to Georgia, then back-to-back Arkansas and Auburn, then home to Oklahoma, a trip to Texas A&M, then home games with Florida, that's a win, and LSU. Then they open up February at Texas. At Texas, home to Missouri, at Alabama, at Florida, then home to Mississippi State and Kentucky. Get Kentucky at home this year. Road game to Georgia, home to Tennessee, and the final game will be at Ole Miss on March the 7th. Brand new South Carolina basketball team with a brand new SEC schedule. And I don't know. I mean, the SEC's what it is. 14 out of 16 teams went to the tournament last year?
Mm-hmm. It's a heck of a home schedule for the Gamecocks.
So
you got the
practically
defending national champions and also Kentucky on your home slate.
So practically everybody they're playing went to the NCAA tournament last year in the SEC, right? Everybody that they're playing, with the exception of, who was the other team besides the
LSU.
Gamecocks who didn't make it?
Yes.
LSU?
LSU.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So they only play LSU once. So 3, 6, they play in 18. So 17 of their games will be against tournament teams. No, that's not right. Yes, it is. That is right. That is right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 17 of their games will be against NCAA tournament teams. So good luck with
two
that.
that went to the Final Four. And
one
one that won the
won
national
it.
championship. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry to see this story. Former Gamecock corner Marcellus Dial, who did a great job, made himself into a draft pick, 6th-round pick, tore his ACL on Monday out in Seattle. I'm sorry, up in New England. He's going to miss the entire season with that. So sorry to hear that news for him. And, how about this? So the ACC, ESPN, they're going to let you hear on the Friday night games and their primetime Saturday games. They're going to let you hear the conversations inside the replay booth as the replay officials are discussing the replay. They're going to put that as part of their television broadcast. What do you think of that?
I think that's a great idea. If I'm not mistaken, they may have taken that from USFL, the XFL, one of those two. I think we're already doing that. I watched a presentation last year that John McDade, who is the coordinator of officials for both the Southeastern Conference and the Sun Belt, did. And he had, as part of his presentation, the conversation that goes back and forth between the replay and to the referee on the field. And what you'll immediately see as you're watching those games for the ACC is that the decision 9 times out of 10 has already been made before the referee goes over and puts the headset on.
Really?
They've already figured out, and then the reason it takes a while is then they have to explain to the official exactly the reason they ultimately came to whatever decision it is. He has to watch to see, and then they also have to make sure they've got the spot of the ball correct, the game clock, and the whole 9 yards. So then when he goes back out to talk to us in the stands, he can explain it intelligently. So yeah, it's a really fascinating thing. I think that's a really cool aspect that they're going to add to their broadcast.
By the way, what was your opinion on the Hall of Fame game the other night, which I didn't watch any of it, but I did see where they used the laser measuring did away with the chain gang, used this I don't know computerized artificial way of measuring the distance, the first downs and all that. No chains, no stretching of the chains and all that, no drama. They just showed it up on the screen. And what do you think of that? I hate it. I'll tell you right now. Again, this is another invasion of humanity, or an invasion on humanity involved in the sports world. So we're going to eventually eliminate all humanity except for the players and maybe the coaches.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
do you like that or no?
I'm not a huge fan of it. It doesn't really bother me one way or the other. The only situation is I don't see where it actually enhances the game itself. Now, if they start spotting the football with robots, then we've got a story to talk about. But I mean, the referees are still going to spot the football, so it's not going to be a debate as to whether or not they got the correct spot. It's just, well, once they spotted the ball, is that a first down? Well, I mean, for the most part, the cool thing was watching the chain crew come out. And if you watch, as you well know, Phil, if you watch a college game or an NFL game anymore, certainly at the collegiate level, they hardly ever measure. I bet you get one. I bet the typical college game now averages less than one measurement a game. Because they're in such a rush to speed up the game. If it's anywhere close, it's a first down.
The things that we are going to kill in sports as a result of going to all this automated stuff, robotic stuff, whatever you want to call it, electronic stuff. Had that system been in place in college football when South Carolina played Michigan in that bowl game, and the officials blatantly gave Michigan a first down on the play prior to Jadeveon Clowney beheading a guy. And the part I'm getting at is Spurrier had one of the most animated arguments and reactions to that moment that you'd ever see on the sideline. And without the human error and the human mistake there, we'd have never seen that. We'd have never had that enjoyment. And if you don't enjoy that part of sports, then you're not a sports fan. You're a gambler, or you don't have any emotions tied into the game. You don't care. No, I mean, that's what those moments where a coach goes berserk because it's pretty obvious the officials have made a mistake. And it was obvious the officials had made a mistake. I've gone back and looked at that video 100 times. I still can't believe they gave Michigan a first down because the ball was a good foot behind the chain. I don't know what the official was looking at.
It wasn't close, and it also, as you pointed out, without that moment, it takes away one of the greatest plays in college football history.
Yeah.
Because you don't have Vincent Smith having his helmet knocked into orbit by Clowney.
I'm telling you, man, we're just slowly sapping it away. All right, to the break we go. When we come back, an interview with Sean Murphy. Then we've got some recruiting coming your way here on Sports Talk 705. It's a South Carolina State takeover. We're going to hear from, of course, Coach Jenice Berry, also KZ Adams, if we can slow him down. I mean, he is one of the fastest players in the state of South Carolina. I might challenge him to a 40-yard dash. Kendrick, what do you think? You think I can handle him in the 40-yard dash? Only if he's tied down and pulling a truck behind him. All right, we'll be back.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th to 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Looking to make life simple and save money? Transfer your credit card balance to a Founders credit card and take advantage of our balance transfer rates as low as 2.99% APR. Plus, you'll pay no balance transfer fees. Now through September 30th. Save more and stress less with this limited time offer. Promotional rate expires 6 months from the date of the transaction. Then effective APR of 13.25% to 17.90% will apply. For more details, visit foundersfcu.com/cc. Membership qualification required.
Hi, this is Major Billy Downer, and coming up tonight at 7:30, it's another edition of SC Wow from the Department of Natural Resources on the Sports Talk Media Network.
Hi, Phil Kornblut here with our good friend George Bryan III, heard every Friday night on Birdies, Bogeys, and Biceps right here on Sports Talk. George, the Tsunami Bar, a very valuable tool for golfers. Why is that?
Well, the first thing that I say is the tempo. It's the only tool out there that allows the study of tension right from the first grab to be expressed, and rhythm and tempo is what makes the bar work, and it gives you something awfully special to keep those hands soft and get that rhythm going.
Learn more about Tsunami Bar technology by clicking on the digital ad on our website, SportsTalkSC.com, and save 5% by purchasing online using the promo code BBB5. All right, welcome back, everybody. From South Carolina State, we go tonight. We'll have the Bulldogs in here in a few minutes. Had a chance the other day to talk to one of the new linebackers at South Carolina, Sean Murphy. You know, this was a big-time recruit coming out of Virginia a few years ago, went to Alabama, transferred to Florida State, played 22 games in his college career, 18 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, no sacks in his career. Not exactly what was expected when he signed with Alabama as a highly regarded recruit. That's why, again, you take all rankings with a grain of salt. Sometimes guys are mislabeled and they just don't live up to it. Maybe this will be a chance for him to have a restart on his career and live up to those expectations that were placed on him out of high school. And we asked him about that transition from Alabama, Florida State, now South Carolina. We asked him how it's going in Columbia.
Transition has been pretty smooth. I have a lot of people to help me and a lot of resources to help me. I've had a great team to bring me in like another brother, and it's just been smooth sailing.
What were some of the things about South Carolina that led you to end up here?
Just the culture they showed me on my recruiting visit, just the people they bring in, and just the vibes. Like, everybody's great people. They do everything the right way, and there's just a lot to love about South Carolina.
So what are you looking at here going into camp as far as how you're going to be used and some of the things you have to do to nail down your spot?
Right now I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the team and just being consistent and doing everything that I can to be the best player for the team.
Some of the things you focused on in the offseason and weight training, conditioning, and through spring practice, what were some of those things that you focused on?
Just getting my body right, getting my body right to go to war, and just being ready to stay healthy and just last long for the season.
Which of the linebacker positions will you be used at the most, you think?
I think that's a Coach White question. I think you got to ask him which linebacker I'm going to play, but that's really a Coach White question. I'm just here to do as I'm told, do my job, be there for the team.
But you could play, they can insert you anywhere you feel like, and you could play any of them?
I'll probably just do what Coach White said.
What about the makeup of this defense, you think, from seeing them through off-season conditioning and through camp? What impresses you about your group?
I think we got a very athletic team, and we got a great group of people, great teammates. I think we have a lot of players that could play, and I think we're all ready for the season, and I'm excited to see what happens this year.
They lost a good number of quality players off last year's defense, and so guys like you are being asked to come in and kind of fill the holes. You feel like the incoming group is capable of stepping up and replacing guys like Eman Worry and some of those guys up front?
I respect those guys. They did a really good job for this program last year, and I'm happy for everything they're doing right now, going to the league and put it on for the Gamecocks. But I'm just excited for the 25 Gamecock football class, and I know we're going to do big things, and I'm just excited about that right now.
Do you have any expectations about the team and what you guys might accomplish inside yourself, what you feel like this team can do this season?
I think this year our main focus is to focus on day by day, just the team we're on, and just get better every week. And I think we could do big things, and I think big things will come with consistency and great effort.
Do you feel this defense is going to be a very physical group? Is it going to be obviously it'll be an athletic group, but last year's group was pretty physical. Will this group be about that same from what you've been able to tell?
I think we're going to be a great defense this year. I think we're going to be very physical, fast, violent, and we're going to do things the right way with a lot of discipline.
The Sports Talk Recruiting Report is sponsored by Seawell's Catering.
Okay, comments of Sean Murphy, South Carolina linebacker. By the way, Dabo Swinney's having a media session as we speak up at Clemson. Not going to have a chance to get it on the air tonight with everything else we've got, but we'll have it posted on our website as soon as it becomes available to us. You can check that out, SportsTalkSC.com. Now a chance to update you on some recruiting information tonight brought to you by Seawells. Let's catch up on the menu Thursday, Friday. Plummer, what you got?
Man, it's a big Friday, I can tell you that. But tomorrow, Thursday, sliced beef brisket, southern fried chicken, orange and sesame chicken with vegetable fried rice and lo mein, sausages with grilled onions with peppers and onions. And Friday, like I said, southern fried chicken, carved roast beef, teriyaki, glazed salmon, and barbecue.
We recommend it highly Tuesday through Fridays, except when they're closed for a special event. Get over to Seawells for the daily luncheon buffet. And, of course, for your special event, and you need the best in catering, just alert Seawells, and they will come to your assistance. They will bail you out of a tough situation.
I do have a quick note on that, though.
Quick note.
They did raise their prices. It's now $15 cash, $15.50 if you're using a card.
Ew. That's still a good price.
It is.
Still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
very
only
good. Still
$1.
very affordable.
That's only $1. What's $1 between friends? 803-771-7385, online at SeawellsCateringSC.com. All right, checked in on Amari Thomas, the running back from Blounston, Florida. He's announcing at 3 o'clock on Friday. Once committed to Florida State and decommitted in July. South Carolina's been on him really heavily. He said to us last night he does know where he's going, and he made that decision in his mind Sunday night. He said he's not contacted any of the coaches, does not plan to prior to his announcement. Narrowed it down to South Carolina, Florida State, Colorado, and Georgia Tech. Been talking to running backs coach Marquell Blackwell at South Carolina. He says it's been good, nothing crazy, same old stuff. They've talked a little bit, not too much. He does like the culture, the people at South Carolina. He was in for a visit in April, spring practice, and returned for an official in June. Also made officials to Florida State and Kentucky. And he's just going to do the hat thing. He said not going to make a big deal, just going to pick a hat up off the table, let it go from there. He believes in himself. He thinks he's a great running back. 2,545 yards and 56 touchdowns combined the last 2 seasons. He did say he's not going to shut down his recruiting after his commitment, that it's likely he'll take some visits to other schools this season, including hearing from Clemson, NC State, Florida, Kansas State, Mississippi State, Illinois, Indiana, and others. Chad Simmons reported today South Carolina appears to be in strong shape with offensive tackle Darius Gray of Richmond for his August 22nd commitment. He's now predicting Gray will pick the Gamecocks over LSU, and that will do it for recruiting here on this Wednesday night. Coming up, South Carolina State from here in Orangeburg.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A sergeant shot 5 soldiers Wednesday at one of the country's largest army bases before he was quickly subdued by the Fort Stewart troops. 3rd Infantry Division Commander Brigadier General John W. Lubas tells WJCL that all of the wounded are expected to survive.
This morning, shortly before 11 o'clock, an active duty soldier assigned to Fort Stewart, Georgia, shot and wounded 5 of his fellow soldiers here on Fort Stewart. Thankfully, all are in stable condition and all are expected to recover.
Officials say Wednesday that other troops tackled 28-year-old Sergeant Cornelius Radford after he started firing. An Army spokesman says officials wouldn't speculate about a motive. In Part 2 of our special series on radical legislation pending in the California State Assembly, we learn why Assembly Bill 495 poses a danger to parental rights nationwide. Karen England, president of the Capital Resource Institute in Sacramento, says the bill would allow anyone to remove a child from public school or even daycare without the knowledge of a parent.
We always say California isn't Las Vegas. What happens in California doesn't stay in California. And other states should be concerned about this because it's undermining their laws when people from other states come here. So while this really, we are focusing on California, this is any parent's nightmare whose child may come visit a relative or go to a camp in this state and may be giving up their parental rights.
More information on dangers posed nationally by Assembly Bill 495 in California can be found at the website realimpact.us. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 81 points, the Nasdaq rose 252. More on these stories at townhall.com.
They say timing is everything in the gold and silver markets, and it's true. Dennis Prager here for AmFed Coin and Bullion. Although you can buy at the right time, if you buy the wrong coins, you may not make a profit. When gold was $400 an ounce, many people were talked into buying high-grade old gold and silver collector's coins. Unfortunately, most of the people who bought these so-called semi-numismatic coins, like the $20 St. Gaudens and Liberty Head gold coins, have not broken even on their investment. Incredible, given that gold has risen approximately 525% since then. So while timing is everything, if you buy the wrong coins, the timing simply doesn't matter. Having a dealer who cares about positioning you in the right types of coins or bullion will mean more to your portfolio than anything else. That's why I deal with Nick Rovich and AmFed Coin and Bullion. Whether you're buying or selling, call 800-221-7694. That's 800-221-7694. Or go to AmericanFederal.com. AmericanFederal.com.
An upcoming weekend series in Atlanta will feature MLB's first female umpire. Correspondent Gethin Coolbaugh reports.
Jen Powell is set to become the first woman to umpire in Major League Baseball when she works this weekend's games between the Miami Marlins and Atlanta Braves. The 48-year-old from New Jersey will work the bases in Saturday's doubleheader at Truist Park and the plate on Sunday. MLB's move comes 28 years after the gender barrier for game officials was broken in the NBA, 10 years after it ended in the NFL, and 3 years after the Men's Soccer World Cup employed a female referee. The NHL still has not had a woman referee. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
The NFL has entered into a non-binding agreement to sell NFL Network and other media assets to ESPN. News and analysis at townhall.com. From Washington, I'm Keith Peters.
On Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. We're mostly cloudy overnight, a few lingering showers, a low of 69. Tomorrow, cloudy all day again, 40% chance of more scattered storms. Our high is 81. We look to the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. The sun tries to peek out, but it'll stay mostly cloudy. We have high temperatures around 84 both days to go with a 40% chance of rain. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
Grills, outdoor kitchens, fireplaces. Summer sizzle starts with Bart. This is 107 The Point. This is The Point. Make thepointradio.com.
Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number. 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network on this Wednesday night. We're on the road for the Palmetto Pigskin Tour, stop number 1, always here at the South Carolina State University. Coach Chennis Berry going to join us here in just a second. One quick note from Clemson. As Dabo Sweeney was talking with the media this afternoon, he announced that running back Jarvis Green suffered a foot injury. He's going to have some kind of surgery. Young man out of Dutch Fork who was had a good spring, and they were thinking about him being a factor in the running game for this coming season, but has some sort of foot injury, he announced, and it's going to have some kind of surgery. It's going to sideline him for the entire season. Kind of news you don't like to hear about your football team at this stage of the season. Okay, we are here in Orangeburg. Let's visit with the South Carolina State Bulldogs as we welcome in Coach Chennis Berry once again to Sports Talk. He's been with us every year. He's been in the state of South Carolina, and I have to say, because of these visits, it's been nothing but love on the football field for him at Benedict and at South Carolina State so far. Welcome in. It's great to have you with us. Good to see you again.
Hey, man, good to be here, man. Thanks for thinking of the Bulldogs first.
We are always here, number 1 on our stops.
Okay.
Always number 1 at
Awesome.
South Carolina State. Congratulations to you. Great year last year, but you are the type of guy, I think, that you don't dwell on the past for very long, do you?
Not at all. It's a new team, new season, but our mission doesn't change. We just want to continue to motivate young men to fall in love with the process of going 1-0 every day, and our young men have bought into that.
I love your shirt. Can we see his shirt? You can see his shirt on the screen. It just says you got the Bulldog emblem covered up by 1-0.
Oh, yeah.
And that's you. That's your message.
That's exactly right.
You going to sell those shirts?
You know what? Not really sure if we're going to sell them. It's just really a mindset for our players.
Yeah.
So it's on their workout gear in the weight room. It's on all our coaches' gear in practice. We just tell them, don't worry about anything. Surrender the outcome. Just fall in love with going 1-0 every day. Just whatever we do, just try to win the day and go 1-0 every day.
So how many days have you won in camp so far?
Well, I mean, we've been at it. We're going into practice number 8, and, guys are flying around, making some mistakes here and there. But all in all, as long as they give great effort, we're about being very intentional about what we're trying to improve on. And, we got a good football team, but it's a new team.
Yeah.
It's a lot of newcomers, man, in the day's world of the transfer portal and NIL and all that. A lot of times these days, man, you lose a lot of your guys, man, and, now it's about trying to get the right fits of young men that fit our culture and what we're all about. And I think we've signed some really good young men. Our coaches have done an outstanding job of getting the right fit for our program, and I think we're heading in the right direction.
So you hit the portal pretty hard in the offseason?
Absolutely. We have 32 transfers and 12 freshmen, so 44 newcomers.
Mostly what positions needed help from a portal standpoint?
Well, we had to get on the O-line, D-line first. Mm-hmm. And anybody that knows me, we're going to build it in the trenches first. So kind of how I build it, you got to make sure you get the O-line, D-line right. You want to make sure you got an amazing quarterback, and then you got to make sure you got corners that can cover. So it's kind of the same model as they do in the NFL, and those are the guys that can make you better. But we hitting the portal pretty heavily, O-line and D-lines, and I think we're pretty deep, especially on the defense line. We're about 4 deep, pretty good. Guys are flying around. I think we had a chance to be really, really special up front with the D-line. We signed a couple linebackers in the portal, several secondary guys in the portal, probably 8 or 9 offensive linemen in the portal, signed a quarterback, signed a tight end in the portal, and signed a couple receivers. So, and we signed a kicker and a punter in the portal as well. So, like I say, it's a new team. It's a new team, but young men are really bought into our process of what we're trying to do here at South Carolina State.
It's changed recruiting for schools like South Carolina State.
Absolutely, because the bigs are going to pluck from our good guys. That's just what it is. And we lost a couple of really good football players that were supposed to be coming back to P4 schools. But, all in all, the guys that are supposed to be at South Carolina State, guess what? They're here. And the ones that's not supposed to be here, they're not here. So we're going to coach the ones that are here, that loves being here, wearing that garnet and blue. And I think we got a really, really good football team again, but we just got to fall in love with going 1-0 every day.
Talking with Coach Chennis Berry here at South Carolina State. So your quarterback situation will look like what as you go through camp?
We'll see. The cream going to rise to the top. But we have 4 quarterbacks in camp right now, 2 younger quarterbacks and then 2 older quarterbacks. Ryan Stubblefield, as we know, got a little playing time last year, not much. We had the reigning MEAC Offensive Player of the Year, Eric Phoenix. He's no longer here. And Ryan was able to play a couple games whenever he went down with injury. So he's got some experience in the offense. And then we signed a young man by the name of Billy Atkins. He's a transfer quarterback from James Madison University. And he's got another year eligibility, and he led them to their first ever bowl victory when they beat Western Kentucky in the Boca Raton Bowl. So he's got some experience. He's very, very talented, and it's been a very, very healthy competition this training camp. I mean, it's been fun to see, to be honest, man. Those guys are both talented, and like I say, at the end of the day, the cream's going to rise to the top.
What's going to separate one from the rest of the field?
Well, we want to see who can move the offense, and who has the right body language, who does not turn over the football. The ball is the baby and the baby is the ball. You can't drop the ball. You can't turn the ball over and put our defense in bad situations. So we want a guy that's going to take care of the football. Taking care of the football is what it's all about. Who's putting the ball in playmakers' hands? In our offense, the quarterback's like the point guard. All he has to do is distribute. All right, to the playmakers, because we got enough playmakers in the backfield, at tight end and at wide receiver. He's got to make good decisions. And who's going to lead our team? Not just our offense, but our whole entire team. Who has the right culture? Who has the right body language? Who has the right leadership capabilities? And I think, whoever ends up being the guy is going to have some weapons to be able to throw to and hand the ball off to. No doubt about it.
Defensively.
Pretty good. I tell you what. I think we got a chance to be really, really good on defense.
Because?
Well, it starts with the big boys up front. Of course, Josh Barker leads that crew. Josh Barker, people look at his stature in terms of his height, and they don't really understand how dominant he is. I mean, Josh Barker had the #1 grade in all of America in FCS football on PFF, Pro Football Focus. So he had a really productive year last year as a sophomore. He understands our culture. He's about a 375 power clean. He's about a 400-pound bencher, and he's probably about a 675-pound squat. So he's powerful, and he's a really good motor. But I'm looking forward to the next guy that's going to step up, Jordan Dollard. All right, Jordan Dollard is really, really good. Kayvon Chisholm, really, really good. These are guys that were in the program last year. Micaiah Settles, very, very talented. So we got some guys up front, along with the guys that we signed. We signed a young man from Tulane University named Mike Lunds. Mike Lunds has really been having a great camp. Sean Brown, Limestone closed down, and he was their pass rusher. And he's here right now in the garnet and blue. So we got some guys that can make it happen. And, I think we're heading in the right direction up front. And if you got the big boys that can stop the run and put pressure on the quarterback, it make life easier for our guys in the back end. And I think in the back end, led by Jared Washington, we got some guys that, they're going to be very competitive. We're deep. We're going to be able to do some different things in the back end that we didn't do a year ago because of so much talent and so much depth. So when you look at our front and then our back end, and obviously you got to have some good linebackers. And losing Aaron Smith is not an easy task, because not only was Aaron a really, really good football player, he really was the leader of our football team, not just the defense. When Aaron spoke, everybody listened. So, all in all, it's tough to lose him. But I think we got some guys. One that's really been jumping off in the spring and in training camp is a young man by the name of Jordan Franklin. Jordan Franklin has been having an outstanding camp. We're looking for big-time deals. And Zanjeri Dunham, he's been in the program for quite some time. These are talented football players, and we signed some really good guys in the portal at linebacker. So we think our defense got a chance to be special. We got to come together. We hadn't done it yet together. We hadn't done it yet in the garnet and blue with this new group of guys. But all in all, I think we got the right pieces to take us to the next level.
Jared Washington, who we'll talk to in a little bit, named a preseason All-American. What do you like about him?
Really good football player, really good young man. He understands our culture. He's been with us since the last institution we were at. We gave him an opportunity, and he took advantage of the opportunity. He had a really good year last season. Not only, people think about, we call him Dub, all right, Washington, Dub. We call him Dub, but Dub does a good job not only, covering, because he's a very physical corner. He's got great ball skills. That's the thing you'll watch about him. A lot of DBs, they can't catch, but when the ball's in the air, it's really his ball. But he's a physical defensive back as well, where he can tackle. We can play him at corner. We can play him at safety. And he don't know this yet, but we might play him at a little bit of nickel and just move him around a little bit and put him on the best receiver. So, all in all, he's a really good football player. But what I like about him, he took the offseason and got his body right. If you see him, he doesn't look like a typical corner. I mean, he's big. He's looked the part. He's got good size. He's put on some weight. This summer he trained. He's starting to put the right fuels and things in his body, and he's serious about his last year eligibility. He understands he can't get it back. We're super excited about watching it, not only on the field, but we're excited about him and his leadership capabilities because, again, he's been in the program for the last 3 years.
Is he a guy that you can just put out there on an island against an opponent's best receiver and say, shut this guy down?
He's the guy. He's the guy. We think highly of him. Like I say, he's physical. He can run. He understands our defense, too. Like I say, he's been in the defense for 3 years. He knows where he fits. So he can disguise some things. He can do some things that typically a new guy wouldn't be able to do because they don't have the confidence to do that yet because they don't know our culture and our defense. But all in all, Jared Washington is going to have an outstanding season, and we look for big things for him, not only on the field but off the field as well.
All right. You open up against Wofford. And then a trip over to South Carolina.
Really? We play South Carolina?
I think it says that here. University of South Carolina.
Oh, man, I'm just thinking about Wofford. I don't even know who we play after Wofford.
It'd be South Carolina.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just getting
That's
ready
what it says here on your schedule.
Oh, okay, I don't even look at that far. I just look at the first game. 1-0.
I know. I get it. I get it. What about getting ready for Wofford? That's going to be here. And in-state rival, Wofford Terriers. I mean, I know you're not paying attention, not working on them yet, but that should be a very good opening game, a good test for both of you guys.
Really good football program, traditionally a really powerhouse, program in the Southern Conference, man. So Coach will have his team ready to go. I got a chance to spend a little time with Coach in Greenville. We had the Coaches for Charity deal a couple weeks ago. Got a chance to spend a little time with him. He'll have his team ready to go, but we'll have our dogs ready to go as well. So should be fun, should be exciting. Like I say, it's a new team, a new season. So, we're going to put our Bulldogs out there. They're going to play hard. They're going to play fast. They're going to play physical. And we're going to play for 60 minutes and let the chips fall where they may.
Last thing, we'll let you go and get to the players. Your record since you became a head coach at Benedict, and of course you came in the COVID year. I don't think you played football that year. And then you got it going. I think you won 5 the next year. Then it really took off and started rolling, and it continued. I mean, what's the secret of your culture that you built so quickly at Benedict and you've established here at South Carolina State so quickly?
Well, you got to have players first and foremost, right? But you got to have the right fit of coaches around you, just reinforcing your culture, And it always starts with us with discipline. Everybody's got talent, but it's got to be something to separate you. And we're a team that's going to hold our young men accountable on and off the field. We have to have some really good football players. So I thought our coaches did a great job just getting the right fit of talent. Like, we're very, very talented, but talent means absolutely nothing without discipline and accountability. So, all in all, we found some young men that has bought into our culture. It's not easy. It's not easy being a part of a disciplined, structured program because we hold our young men accountable. But, we found some young men that really wants to win. They want to be a part of a good program, not just a good football team. Teams win every now and then, but programs win year in and year out, and we found some young men that's really bought into our culture, and so far so good, man. We just got to keep it going, and like I say, it's a new team. It's a new season. That's the encouraging thing for me. That's what motivates me every day. I can't worry about what happened in 2024. That's why I wanted to do, we got our rings probably about a month ago. I wanted to get them out of my hand, put 2024 to bed, because 2024, a lot of those players not coming back. So we got to get this team locked in and really think we're headed in the right direction, no doubt about it.
You like the rings?
They're outstanding. But I never wear them, man. I just put them in my little cases, and just keep adding on to them.
We thank you as always.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate you spending time with us.
Hey, man, it's a great day to be a Bulldog.
It is.
Appreciate you coming on our wonderful campus.
Beautiful.
You're going to enjoy talking to my wonderful young men. They're well spoken. They love the program. They believe in the program. So again, it's a great day to be a Bulldog. We appreciate you.
We got Jared Washington and KZ Adams going to be joining us here. Then KZ and I are going to go down. We're going to run the 40.
Okay. You need to get probably about a 30-yard start. So maybe you run 10, and then you give yourself a chance. Because I wouldn't do that.
I think
man.
maybe 35 yards.
Okay,
I'm not even sure I could beat him in 5 yards. So, thank you very much.
Take care, man.
Great seeing you.
Hey, man, great seeing you every year, man.
You got it. Hope to see you during the season.
Take care.
Coach Chennis Berry here at South Carolina State. We got the players coming up here in just a moment after the break as we continue from up in the press box here at Bulldog Stadium, looking over Willie Jeffries Field. Iconic stadium here in South Carolina. Back in a moment.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
I'm attorney Jim Corbett. I'm not a case manager. I'm a lawyer for over 35 years. I don't charge 40% for your injury in your wreck case or any on-the-job injury. Call 803-765-2968 and ask for Jim Corbett or email me, jim@jimcorbettattorney.com, for the experience of a lawyer handling your injury case. Jim Corbett, 803-765-2968.
Hi, this is Major Billy Downer, and coming up tonight at 7:30, it's another edition of SC Wow from the Department of Natural Resources on the Sports Talk Media Network.
There's a lot of things we take for granted in our lives. Your home's AC will run cool. Your drive-through coffee will be hot. And the car will start when it's time to take your kids to school. It's when things don't go as planned that you start thinking about who to call and where to turn. The good thing is, you can prepare for life's most difficult days by calling the Larry Lucas Agency today. Larry is a State Farm agent that has been taking care of people across South Carolina for more than 2 decades. You probably have insurance, but switching is easy, and bundling can save you hundreds or more. Most importantly, the Larry Lucas Agency can help you choose the protection you want at the price you want. All backed by South Carolina's #1 home and auto insurance company. Visit LarryLucasAgency.com today or give Larry a call at 803-799-1998. Like a good neighbor, Larry Lucas State Farm is there.
You've put in the work for your education. The extra early, extra late, extra work. That's because you understand education opens doors to better pay, better opportunities, and a better you. Being educated about playing the lottery is no different. It helps you be a better player, one who knows when to play and when to take a rain check. The lottery's a game, so let's keep it fun. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com/betteryou.
Put that on that beat. Nope.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network on the Palmetto Pigskin Tour tonight at South Carolina State. Tomorrow night at Presbyterian. Welcome in a couple of the Bulldog players as we look ahead to the upcoming season. Upcoming season. Let's spit it out, Corn. KZ Adams, running back. Jared Washington, cornerback. You just heard the coach bragging all about you. Were you blushing over there as he was saying all those great things about you?
Of course, man. You know, it's great. You know, I put the work in. So,
Coach doesn't throw a lot of verbal bouquets at his players, does he?
Yeah. You know, if you put the work in, put the time in, you make plays, he gonna show you some love.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How's the defense look so far in camp?
Good. You know, we got a lot of new guys, but you know, we're just trying to help them. You know, fall in love with keep going every day, just being consistent.
What do you think is the strength of your game as a corner?
As a corner, my size and really just the ball. You know, having to act for the ball, going to go get the ball, see ball, get ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
You like man coverage?
Yes, sir. Of course, boundary corner.
Yeah.
Got to know how to play man on the boundary.
KZ, if this guy gets on you in a pass route, is he hard to get rid of?
I mean, I just think, for me personally, I just don't think nobody can guard me. So you gotta have that type of confidence to believe in yourself. And obviously, I understand that he thinks that he can guard me. He has to.
Yeah.
So I mean, me and Dub really never really go against each other often. So it's like, obviously, I'm gonna say me because you gotta have that confidence for myself. So yeah.
How are you feeling going into your second year here? I mean, you're the returning leading rusher on the team from last season, and you're going to get a chance to tote the football quite a bit, you think, this season?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just feel like I'm just, going to be taking really just going to be having the opportunity, that I had last year, but even more. Really just trying to take advantage of everything and just really just be me, you know what I mean? Go back to really like the old ways and just having those good games and trying to be the best I can be.
513 yards, over 5 yards a carry, 99 carries. So, I mean, they could probably throw another, 100 handoffs to you, 100 carries?
Absolutely. That would be a smooth 1,000 yards and whatever, and just really just I think that would be great. So, yes, sir.
Do you in high school at Gray Collegiate, you had the great speed. Yeah. Are you still as fast as you were in high school?
Believe it or not, I think I've gotten way better. I still got the speed. Ain't nothing really changed. Obviously, I just probably gained a little more, muscle or whatever or what have you. But
you do look a little thicker.
just college ball. You're just trying to gain muscle and stuff. But I'm still the exact same athlete.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are you going to be in the return game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All the time. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Jared, great run for you guys last season. Mm-hmm. You win the MEAC. You go to the Celebration Bowl and all that. What was that season like? Because you were breaking in a new coaching staff, and what was that like for you guys?
It was great.
Of course, I guess it wasn't all that new to you because you were with them at Benedict.
Yeah, we always win wherever we go. You know? But it was great, to come here to have an opportunity to play D1 football, things we dreamed of as a kid. It was just a great opportunity. We took advantage of the opportunity.
What did you like most about the approach of the defense last season?
We had good leaders on the defense last year. And we had guys that were ready to play football. Like you said, Aaron Bullock-Smith, dog, great leader, great man. And I know in the NFL he's going to be good too.
How about for you, KZ, joining the team last year after you transferred from Georgia State, new coaching staff, and you guys take off, you win the league and you go to the bowl game. What do you most remember about last season that was so good for the team?
The process. Really just the work we had to put in just to be in the position that we was in to be able to win the MEAC and be able to make it to the Celebration Bowl and have an opportunity to try to win or whatever. But really just the process for real, like the practices, the meetings, and just all the dirty work that, people don't really like for real, but just taking it and really just loving that process. So that's the part I remember.
What is your impression of Coach Berry as far as what he asks of you guys? I mean, he seems to me kind of a no-nonsense kind of guy, and, you have to live within his world.
Well, I trust everything Coach Berry does. I mean, it's just because obviously he's very demanding, which is great. He loves Jesus, and I love Jesus. So it's like I'm going to listen to him. And just looking at his resume and what he's come from, his background, I understand everything. So my best bet is to listen to him because he know what success is and what it's like. So why not try to learn from the best? So yes, sir.
And you probably know him better than anybody on the team, except for maybe some of the coaches. What did you like about him at Benedict a lot of times, when a coach leaves, players go a different direction. You chose to come with him.
He gave me an opportunity, so I had to come with him, And he taught me a lot of the core values I still live with to this day. Like want to know, just waking up and worry about today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about next month. Worry about just today. And just being consistently good. He says all the time to our program, don't worry about being great. Just worry about being consistently good, and you'll have a good football team.
I think you guys are going to be good once again. MEAC better look out, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
You know it.
Thank you guys for coming out. I know it's been a long day.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Good luck. Have a healthy year. Look for some good things from you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Jared Washington and KZ Adams with us here from Orangeburg. We'll be back. SC Wild is coming up.
On point. Point Weather is made possible by our friends at Palmetto Citizens Federal Credit Union on 107 The Point.
Here's tonight's forecast. We're mostly cloudy overnight, a few lingering showers, a low of 69. Tomorrow, cloudy all day again, 40% chance of more scattered storms. Our high is 81. We look to the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. The sun tries to peek out, but it'll stay mostly cloudy. We have high temperatures around 84 both days to go with a 40% chance of rain. I'm Cal Moss with your On Point local weather.
The Point is teaming up with our friends at Americans for Prosperity, South Carolina, for one big, beautiful party. Join us at Flight Deck Restaurant in Lexington, Friday, August the 8th, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. We'll do the afternoon drive live. And how about this? The food is on us. It's AFP and the Point's way of saying, hey, thanks for always supporting important causes, calling your elected officials, caring about local issues. Friday, August the 8th, Flight Deck. Come by and celebrate one big, beautiful party. We'll see you there.
News of With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. An Army sergeant has been accused of shooting 5 soldiers at Fort Stewart, Georgia. Officials say Wednesday that other troops tackled 28-year-old Sergeant Cornelius Radford after he started firing. The shooting prompted a brief lockdown at one of the country's largest Army bases. Radford opened fire where he worked. President Trump could meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin as soon as next week to discuss the Russia-Ukraine war. A White House official who spoke on condition of anonymity Wednesday cautioned that a meeting had not yet been scheduled and no location had been determined. News of a potential meeting came after Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff met with Mr. Putin in Moscow. On Wall Street, the Dow up by 81 points. More details at srnnews.com.
Sometimes timing is everything, and I've been talking the talk about Broker Solar for a good minute. I'm a fan. I've had some Point listeners ask me about Broker Solar. They're on the fence because of what's going on in D.C. Now that the politics have settled, we know what's in that big, beautiful bill. We know the federal tax credit for getting solar power at your home. It's going to end in December. So the clock is ticking. You want that 30% federal tax credit, believe me. So we need to get Ken out to your place before they cut it. Plus, you'll still get a 25% tax credit here in South Carolina. So yeah, timing is everything. 30% federal, 25% state credit. Are you kidding me? That's a big part of the cost already knocked out for solar power. It's time for you to take control of your own power bill. Like I said, timing's everything. Now is the time. Online, it's brokersolar.com or just call Ken and his team. 807-7417. That's 807-7417. brokersolar.com.
When it rains, it sometimes pours. Is your chimney leaking? This is Drew from Chim Spector. We can fix it. We'll find the leak and solve the problem. When a leak occurs, it can cause damage inside your chimney system that can create hidden hazards. Maybe you haven't used your fireplace in years and you're scared to try it. Let us come out and take a look. You'll be enjoying the crackling sounds of a fire before you know it. We're local, fully insured, industry certified, and we care. Online, it's chimspector.com or give us a call at 803-859-5858. That's 803-859-5858.
Hey y'all, it's Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We're introducing our new healthy gluten-free menu. For your choices, we offer charbroiled certified Angus ribeye steak, juicy marinated grilled chicken dinner, fresh grilled salmon, authentic Greek salad, hamburger steak with grilled onions and melted cheese, shish kebab with grilled chicken, veggie blue plate with a choice of 4 vegetable selections, spring chicken salad, and of course, our famous slow-roasted pot roast. Come and enjoy a healthy gluten-free menu at Flight Deck Restaurant. We at Flight Deck Restaurant thank you, and God bless.
At Palmetto State Armory, we offer the largest selection of guns and ammunition at unbeatable prices. Our knowledgeable and friendly staff are here to provide personalized assistance, ensuring you find exactly what you need. If you enjoy outdoor activities like hunting, camping, or hiking, our clothing and outdoor gear collection has got you covered. We also feature an exceptional indoor range facility where you can experience the thrill of shooting in a safe and controlled environment. Visit us today at PalmettoStateArmory.com or your local retail store. Palmetto State Armory, American made for life.
This is Fran Halloran, the Money Coach. Grow with the Point as we build on 10 incredible years of community local radio. We've built an environment where our listeners are our family. Are you a small business with big dreams? Join the tremendous stable of advertising partners at The Point. Connect with Kevin Cohen and brainstorm a tailored strategy to escalate your business growth using the powerful platform of The Point. Call Kev directly at 563-8558. Teaming with The Point, you can make the next year your best year.
All right, thanks again to Coach Berry and the players here at South Carolina State. They were awesome. If you missed any of our interviews, Coach Berry and the players, we'll have it up on our website later on, SportsTalkSC.com. Also, of course, available where we put our stuff in podcast form. We don't do a podcast, but we take our stuff, we put it in podcast form. And the best place to go is SoundCloud, also available on Spotify. Those are a couple of the places. Apple Podcasts also has it as well. So they're all there for you, depending on which of those outlets that you like to go to. Got a feeling South Carolina State's going to be big dogs once again in the MEAC. Portal recruiting can help you stay on top. It can fix a lot of your ills if you hit the right guys. And it sounds like from him, feels like he has. Sort out that quarterback situation. Of course, they had a terrific quarterback last year, terrific quarterback. And sort out that quarterback situation, get the right guy there, they should be fine. It sounds like defensively they're going to be really, really strong once again, especially up front. Of course, you heard from Jared Washington. He's an outstanding corner, preseason All-American corner. So it sounds like they're going to be really good across the board there. So look for another big year for South Carolina State. On your schedule, again, Wofford's coming off their year. Wofford's thinking they're going to be better this year. Of course, they got to go to South Carolina. They'll be huge underdogs there. They do have to make a trip to South Florida, so they've got 2 games against big programs, big money programs. I put South Florida kind of in that category. They're they're not Power 4. I guess they're group of 5, whatever it is now. And then they'll get into their they play Charleston Southern, and then they'll get into their league schedule. So, they may take a couple of bruises along the way with some of these teams they're playing early on, but once they get into a league competition, they should be just fine. And I look for them to have another big year and win the MEAC and go back to the Celebration Bowl once again and maybe win another national championship as they did a few years ago. Ordinarily, we would have Major Billy Downer with us right now for an edition of SC Wild. We've not connected with him yet. So, and Bergie cut away from us. Is Bergie back with us? Do we know yet, Plummer? What's the deal?
He has disappeared as well. I don't really know where he is. I'm trying to find some Dabo for ourselves. I think Bergie's trying to get Dabo, though, as well. So I'm just trying to get something to run here.
Well, we don't need to run something just to run it. That's not how we operate here, Plummer. That would not be quality. We do quality. Our commentary will be just fine. We can talk our way through the next 25 minutes if we have to. But I will say we will get the Dabo Swinney up from his press conference after today's practice. Bergie's working on that and should be posting that shortly. So we'll get that to you. In the meantime, we have got some text messages, and we can take some phone calls, Plummer. You ever think about that? You ever think about taking phone calls?
Yeah, we do, and I don't like to say this, but you do have an open microphone on your table somewhere.
Oh, well, I can fix that. I can fix that right away.
Perfect.
Yeah. Actually had 2 open microphones. I forgot to shut them off.
And I do have Dabo now. It runs about 7 minutes if you do want to get it.
You got Dabo ready?
I do.
Well, Dabba do. Let's go to Dabo Swinney then. Was not expecting to have the opportunity to play it tonight, but we will run the Dabo Swinney. You'll hear him talk about the Jarvis Green injury as much as he elaborates on that and other things about his team coming off today's practice. So up to Clemson. Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney. This is fresh. This is, as they like to say, hot off the press. As they say on the internet with any little note, it's breaking. It's breaking. Here's Dabo Swinney.
Several days of practice? They've been very businesslike, just their demeanor and how they've approached it every day. So we started last Tuesday as far as camp. We didn't get on the field until Thursday, but, just a lot of meetings Tuesday, kind of camp mode Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we transitioned to the field on Thursday. So, and so we've been rocking and rolling, getting through the acclimatization period. Today was the first day of full pads and first day of some live work where we were able to get our first, full tackling. So a little short yards and goal line. But, I was telling them yesterday at practice, the biggest thing I would say is they've just been businesslike. They've just been about their business. There's been a lot of great energy. The guys have competed the way we need them to compete. They're just practicing the right way. That's been the most encouraging thing as far as the type of habits that we need to have in practice. Just hadn't been a lot of bull crap going on. It's just been a very focused group, and we need to continue that.
Saw there were some of those younger offensive linemen in yellow today. Any serious injuries?
No. We just again, been going a week, and just a couple guys a little banged up here or there, but nothing serious. Only serious injury we've had is Jarvis Green. He's going to probably be out most of the year, so we had to do surgery on his foot. So he'll have a chance to come back at the end of the season. I hate that for him. I really do. But that's the only serious injury we've had. Other ones are short-term type things.
Got to talk to Ian the other day. This may be a stupid question, but with his length and his jumping ability, have you thought much about using him blocking kicks?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure have. Just hadn't done it yet, but we'll get to it, when we get into some of that stuff. But yeah, he's definitely a guy that you could see in a role like that. Also, talked about maybe into game type stuff. We have certain packages we've always done. We haven't always gotten in those situations, but last play type stuff where it's your feet are on the goal line, and he'll be a guy that we probably talk about for that situation as well.
What are the early returns on him? Just your observations of him?
Yeah, we're just getting going with him, trying to really just kind of force the issue. We've got 2 weeks now that we're in pads. Really need to force the issue with him because we really couldn't take another step till we could get the physical part. So now that we're in pads, we're trying to just force more reps his way so we can just bring him as far along as we can, because we got 2 weeks, and you start school in 2 weeks, you really only rep 2 groups. So we've got a lot to get done these next 2 weeks. He needs all the reps he can get. Actually had a big catch today. Guy hanging all over him and made a great play. It was fun to see that. The team got all excited, and so we're just chase him all around the field. He's just got a lot to learn. It's fast. He knows what to do, but it happens really, really fast, when you get on the field. But, proud of him. He's doing the work and learning how we got to get him low, we got to get him playing with leverage and, some things like that. So some sled work, some shoot work. He's doing great, showing up and doing the work. It's a good room, but we're just trying to, find out again what his role can be and how far we can get him before we start game planning. And once you get into the season, then you start to package stuff, and so far so good.
What is Khalil Barnes' injury, and how long do you expect him to?
Short term, just short term.
Peter wasn't out there today.
Sick. Yeah, he tried to go, but he just said we just didn't want him around anybody. He was sick as a dog. He was sick this morning and just got worse as the day went. So they just didn't want him around, anybody.
What's different about Joey Meadows than out back out here?
There's a lot different. It's not perfect. This is perfect. That's not. It's just kind of a, it's just kind of a mental challenge too. It really wasn't that hot for whatever reason. It's been Club Med around here for hot as crap all summer, and then all of a sudden it's crazy. We've had 2 complete washout rain days, and then when we have been outside, it's been cool. It hadn't really been hot yet, so I'm hoping that'll change a little bit. But hey, I always tell them you got to have a little favor along the way, and they've already had some to this point because it really hasn't been too taxing from just a heat standpoint. But it's just it's just a different environment, a little more of a mental challenge, I think, because again, it's everything over here is so nice and so perfect, and that's the opposite of that. Although it looks pretty good over there, it's probably the best it's ever been. So just kind of changing, and this is kind of when we flip camp. So the first week, it's an afternoon type of deal, and it's really, because we kind of got to go around. There's some finals that have been going on. Believe it or not, we actually go to school, and so there's been some finals that we've had to deal with. So we kind of structure it that way. Tomorrow will be meetings only, so we're trying not to go more than 3 days in a row as far as on our legs. And so tomorrow is, so at least every fourth day we get a day off, and that's pretty standard. Kind of mimicking the NFL, honestly. And so tomorrow we'll meet and in the morning, and then tomorrow around lunchtime we'll go spend the afternoon. We'll have a little team outing day. Come back tomorrow night, have meetings, and then we'll have our first double day on Friday, and we flip camp. So camp on Friday flips to the morning. So we'll have a true kind of double day on Friday, and then we'll have our first preseason game on Saturday. We get 2 preseason games, and the first one's on Saturday. So, that's what the first part of camp is all about. It's building toward that game, that scrimmage, getting them ready situationally. You have ACC refs coming in here, coaches, everybody. We get 2 opportunities to really get ourselves ready. So, we've got a few more things. We'll get into some 2-minute on Friday. We'll get into some second and long, play third down. But we've done a lot of situational stuff to this point, offense, defense, and special teams. So just getting them ready for the scrimmage, and then we'll see where we are and go from there. I think that's always the case. You have a good plan of what you want to do, but that first scrimmage usually kind of dictates where you are, and then, do we stay the course on what we've got planned, or do we need to tweak a few things?
What did you learn about backup corner?
Okay, there you go. Comments from Dabo Swinney from after the Clemson practice late this afternoon. Again, the news that Jarvis Green has suffered a foot injury, might be back latter part of the season, has had surgery already. So that is a bit of a blow, considering their running back situation is basically in flux behind Adam Randall, I guess. I think there's still a lot of competition for that number 2 spot at running back at Clemson, and we'll be back in a moment.
75 years, one reputation, too tough to tame. The Lady in Black doesn't care who you are, rookie or vet, playoffs favorite or long shot. 75 years of scraped walls, battle scars, and history made the hard way. This Labor Day weekend, be there to write the next chapter of the Cookout Southern 500. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 30th and 31st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Hi, this is Billy Downer from the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources. Are you looking for a safe place to shoot your rifle or handgun? Did you know that the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources operates 4 manned ranges across the state in Pickens County, Spartanburg County, Richland County, and Charleston County? For more information on our public ranges, visit dnr.sc.gov/shooting.
Are you in the market for an auto loan? Move now. Get an auto loan from Founders Federal Credit Union now through October 31st, and you'll be entered to win up to $25,000 toward your qualifying auto loan and a $5,000 deposit into your Loyalty Select account. Loyalty Select is our highest yield savings account. Leave it there to grow or transfer it out to spend. And the best part? We'll be choosing monthly winners. So the earlier you get your auto loan, the more chances you have to win. So don't wait. Visit foundersfcu.com/auto to learn more or begin your auto loan application today. Not a Founders member yet? Visit us online or stop by an office to learn more about Founders and see if you qualify for membership. We have the financial tools you'll need and the personalized service you deserve. Relax, you're with Founders. Terms and conditions apply. Membership qualification required.
One lottery ticket makes a big difference for our state students. And when I say big, I mean bigger than jackpot big. Since 2002, South Carolina students have benefited from more than $6 billion in lottery-funded scholarships and grants, including the Life, Hope, and Palmetto Fellow Scholarships. With every lottery play, you're supporting our students, and that adds up in a big way. That's why education is our middle name. Learn more at scEducationLottery.com/betteryou.
G3 here with Tsunami Bar Sports, and it's time for a fall preview. That's right, 720 Chris Drive, 378 and I-26, Frontage Road, where you can now preview the best technology for golf known to man. It's the Tsunami Bar. It's live weight. It's the only technology out where you get your tempo and flow going before you play. Now, it also serves as a pattern support tool. 720 Chris Drive, Frontage Road, 378 and I-26. You also can visit the Garage Gym Pro Shop. Pick up your tools, take them home, and while you're here, tour the Scramble course, 6-hole pitch and putt right now.
As the NIL churns.
Okay, we're back here at South Carolina State for our final segment tonight. Thanks to Kendrick Lewis for taking great care of us, as always. The veteran, he's not an SID anymore. Let me see, I got to look up his official title. Assistant AD for Strategic Communications. That's a big-time title. Probably got a big raise out of that, too. Probably got a lot of new money. So that's great. Assistant AD for Strategic Communications. Not sure what he is strategizing, but sounds like it's pretty important. Okay, little edition of As the NIL Churns, exclusively on Sports Talk. Nobody else does this. Nobody's thinking this deeply like we are here on Sports Talk. I love this one. I love honest general managers. Texas Tech general manager James Blanchard on underpaid elite recruits. Quote, if somebody is underpaying an elite guy, only paying him $100,000 to $200,000, I'm going to give him $300,000 to $400,000 and go steal somebody. There you go. I love honesty. Honesty in college recruiting. It's refreshing. So refreshing. Private equity firms. This is scary. And the money coaches talked about this, Fran Halloran. The money coaches talked about this. Private equity firms want to deploy capital into college sports, but the floodgates haven't opened yet. This is from Front Office Sports. Quote, the dam will break at some point, Ben Fund of Carlyle Group said at a Front Office Sports event. Is his name Ben Fund and he works for the Carlyle Group? His last name is Fund? I mean, how appropriate is that? AO, that's the name of an organization. AO, a College Sports Players Association, held a closed-door meeting with 23 Power 4 GMs on Sunday night in Nashville. This is from On3 Sports. All 23 support a collective bargaining model, removing a portal window during the season, and support performance-based incentives. So collective bargaining. Don't you have to have a union to do collective bargaining? I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm not a labor lawyer. I'm just a working man. I'm just a simple working man. I've never been in a union. Plumber, you have union. Yeah, you have union background in your family, right?
I'm in the South Carolina Plumbers Union 315.
But I mean, no, seriously, up in Detroit.
Oh yeah,
you had to be in a union if you were a plumber.
Well, yeah, they were in the union, I think, but they owned their own company, so I'm not sure how that worked, but I think they were in the union.
Yeah, probably so, because I mean, you know, the way the union works, like if you're in an office building and you got union workers there, and the light bulb goes out, you know, on a lamp on your desk, you can't change that light bulb. The union guy has to come in from 50 miles away and come change the light bulb. You can't touch that light bulb. So we're talking about here with now college athletes unionized collective bargaining, that should be a lot of fun to follow. I mean, think about collective bargaining in professional sports, in the legacy professional sports, how nasty that gets. And then you know what? You know how you get your way, of course. So the colleges are like the owners and the players are the players, just like for the legacy sports. The athletes, they collectively bargain against the owners. Well, the owners want to pay as little as possible. The players want as much as possible, and they want a whole bunch of other stuff to make their lives better. And if they don't get it, either they go on strike or the owners lock you out. So how's that going to work in college? If they start to collectively bargain and you can't get your way, and the colleges, like the owners, they want to hold a certain line, and not go over that line when it comes to like maybe paying you and you expect more. Are you going to strike? Are players going to strike? Could we see college players one day strike? Could we see, I don't know, who owns a college team? The AD? The president? Could they lock them out? I mean, that is part of collective bargaining, like it or not. If you're talking about labor strife, which is entirely possible when you get to collective bargaining, you could have labor strife. I don't know. I've been fired from every job I've ever had. I had no union plumber. I had no union protecting me. I got fired from every job I've ever had until this one, until I actually became an owner. The only person that can fire me is the audience, So
they're close to it.
Yeah, they're getting closer by the day. All right, there you go. That is tonight's edition of As the NIL Churns. Okay? All right, what else do we have in our final minutes tonight here at South Carolina State? Let me see if there are a few other notes. We mentioned that Richland Post 215 won its game today in the Southeast Regional, and Florence Post 1 is playing right now. See if I can pull up that score. They were trailing 1-0 earlier. See if I can pull up that score here somewhere. Pull up that score. Let's see if we have the score here. I'd hope they'd have the score here. Let's see if they've got an updated score. Give me a score. Give me a score. All I've got is that Richland won 10-0. And let's see if I have an updated score here. I'm tracking. Oh, here we go. I've got one. Just 10 minutes ago, Post 1 scored 6 runs in the bottom of the fourth, takes the lead on the team from Asheville, North Carolina. So it's 6-5. 6-5 after 4 innings. They're playing in Asheboro, North Carolina. So Florence Post 1 is leading the Asheville team 6-5. So we could have a couple of wins tonight by the South Carolina teams. Major League Baseball, we can update that for you. Had several afternoon games today, highlighted, of course, by those rascals, the Yankees. Managed to pull it out somehow, some way. Didn't blow it this time. As much as they tried, Yankees beat Texas 3-2. But Toronto, of course, has there ever been a worse Major League team than Colorado this year? I mean, seriously. Toronto beat Colorado 20-1 today. No 10-run rule in Major League Baseball. Tampa Bay over the Angels 5-4. St. Louis beat the Dodgers 5-3. They won 2 out of 3 in that series. Miami over Houston 6-4. And it was, let's see what else we got here. We got some games that are going on. And the Cubs won again, beat Cincinnati 6-1. Minnesota over Detroit 9-4. Cleveland swept the series with the Mets 4-1. The Mets were no hit with 1 out in the 9th, and then they had a home run by Soto for their only run and hit. San Francisco beat Pittsburgh 4-2. Baltimore over Philly 5-1. And Boston leads Kansas City 2-1. That'll do it. Thanks to the folks here at South Carolina State. We'll see you from PC tomorrow.